start with the video.
ConnecTogether creates opportunities for people living with disabilities by providing information, resources, and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. Check out some of the programs we offer through our online learning platform, ConnecTogether, including our Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative, Wednesday Chair Yoga with Bobby Seal-Kobiski, Thursday Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson, Friday Rotating Dance Classes hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff, and other initiatives including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series. Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at ConnecTogether Society.
Okay, you can start.
Okay, thanks, Cesar. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday's workout class. I'm Sierra from Ocean Rehab and Fitness, for those who don't know me. Today, we're going to jump into some cardio, pretty much all cardio today, but we will do a good extensive warm-up. Because we're doing cardio, if you feel like you would like to add some music in the background, feel free to do that, and I would welcome to do that right away here. Otherwise, yeah, just follow along with me. In terms of equipment, you don't necessarily need any equipment. You definitely could do all of this without, but if you do have a dowel or a mop stick like I do, then I would grab that. It could be a hockey stick, an umbrella, whatever kind of dowel shape that you can get, because we'll be doing some kayaking in a bit. So kind of what's going to work today is we're going to do a bit of a warm-up, some warm-up movements, and then get into 3 different types of cardio options. I hope that some of these give you some ideas so you can go and do these on your own. And we're going to be doing 30 seconds on, 30 seconds rest for 10 rounds of one. So for example, we'll do 10 rounds of boxing, take a bit of a break, and then move on to the next. This is very much on your own pace, but feel free to follow along with my pace if that feels good. Otherwise, get into a groove. If you have music on, utilize that music. That music definitely helps with regulating your heart rate. So the faster the beat, the more your heart rate's going to get moving, which is what we want. So let's get into it. And we're going to get into a warm-up first. We're going to start with some breathing and then get into some neck, shoulder, spine, and hips like I usually do. And we'll go from there. So what we're going to do is just take a couple big breaths here. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Feel free to do this seated or standing, whatever works for you. So big inhales and exhaling, releasing everything down towards the ground. Good. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. So again, really thinking about, we work on this a lot, is thinking about some belly breathing. So inhaling, expanding the belly, not so much the chest, but the belly. And if it helps to place some hands or arms there, that's definitely welcome. Exhaling all the way to the ground. Yeah, you're going to do 2 more on your own. And on your next exhale, we're going to tuck that chin in. And then we're going to look up towards the ceiling. So just getting in some neck movements. Nice. And then we're going to go left and right. And then we're going to tilt right ear, shoulder. And then we're going to switch. Good. So going at your own pace, nice and gentle, just to warm up. Good. And then we're going to bring the shoulders all the way up towards the ears. And then we're going to drop them down. Bringing them up, inhale, and then exhale. Good. Good. We're going to bring arms out to the side and go into some shoulder rolls here. Nice. So we're going to bring one arm up, one arm's going to go back, and then we're going to switch. Good. So just opening everything up. Then we're going to go out in front and open everything up. So bringing those arms out in front as much as you can, and then opening up that chest. For some, that might be one arm at a time. For others, you might be doing both. Good. And then we're going to go diagonal. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Good. And we're going to reach over the head. And then we're going to lean in that direction. Yep. Good. And we're going to switch sides. And back to the other. And one more time. Good. Then we're going to rotate to the left, look over that left shoulder, and then slowly rotate to the other side. So not so much holding, but slowly just getting in that motion and to the other side. And one more time to the other side. Yeah, then we're going to tuck that chin in. We're going to roll through the spine all the way down, so you can go down towards the ground, down to your lap, whatever feels good. So reaching all the way down as low as you want to go. And once you get to the bottom, you're going to take some big inhales, expanding the back of the ribs, filling up that entire back. And then exhaling all the way to the ground. Good. 2 more breaths. And one more breath. You're going to slowly roll up, lift that chest. Arms can come out to the sides. We're going to look up towards the ceiling. Good. And then we're going to come back to center, and we're just going to get some hip movement in. So for some, you might be able to go in a circular direction with those hips. For some, you might need some support with the hands. You might have the hands on your lap, just getting in some hula hoop motions. Good. And then we're going to switch directions. Nice. One more to the other side. And once more the other way. Okay, and then we're going to get into a little more movement. So starting with some arms out to the side, we're going to get into your arm circles. So arms out to the side. And starting nice and small. Good. And then we get bigger. Nice. And then we're going to switch directions. So starting small and going big. Good. And then we're going to reach out and then up. Squeezing those shoulder blades. So being intentional about your movements when they come back to the chest. So squeeze those shoulder blades as we come down and as we come back. And then once that feels good, you can add some speed. Starting to feel that heart rate raise. Nice. And then we're going to reach diagonally. Good. So the more our arms are either out in front or above us, the more the heart rate starts to raise. So we're going to be intentional to try and get that heart rate going. Good. For those who can, you could also add some knee lifts here. That feels good to you. Nice. Then we're going to go into some arm jacks. Nice. And then we're going to do something called rainbow. So we're going to bring arms both to the left hip up and over to the right. Okay, so we're going from one all the way up. The higher those arms go, the better. Good. And then we're going to place hands on our hips and hinge forward. So just hinging forward, keeping that spine nice and straight, chest is up. Good. See how low you can go with keeping that back straight. Nice. Good. And last one. And we'll rest there. All right. Okay, grab some water if you need. We are going to go right into some boxing. I'm going to set a timer. Okay. So getting situated. If you would like to add some light weights to this, to add a bit of a challenge, feel free. I am not going to do that, but if you feel like you need that, feel free. We're going to do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds rest. We're going to start with some light jabs. And then if I feel like it, will add a little bit of a combo in. But feel free to stick to jabs the whole time if that is easier. I know some people like to keep it simple. So do that if that works for you, and add some music if you want into the background. But otherwise, you're going to follow along with me. So we're going to do some jabs just nice and light out front. We're doing 10 rounds of this. So being cognizant of pacing and finding what feels good, especially if you're using weight. So the first couple are going to feel fairly light. And then we're going to add a lot more speed to these. Good. And if you really want to get technical, bringing those wrists up to the chin. Good. And we're resting. That's your first 30 seconds done. Hopefully I can keep track here. So using this time to kind of stretch out, breathe, catch your breath. And then we're going to jump back into it and starting to think about adding more speed. Okay, we got 5 seconds. Good, and let's go. So, simple jabs right now. Add some speed, add some power. Being nice and intentional with that movement, squeezing those shoulder blades every time you come back. Not just flailing those arms around. Good. 5 seconds. And we're resting. Good. So for those who've been around and feel conditioned enough to continue, you could go nice and light or just moving nice and light around for this 30 seconds of rest. But if you need that full 30 seconds to not move, definitely do that. Okay, we got 15 seconds. Remembering to breathe. 5 seconds here. And going into round 3. Good. Next round, I'm going to add a bit of combo for those who want to challenge. Adding a bit more speed. Halfway. Good. Nice. And we're resting. Okay, so going into round 4, we are going to go power cross. So 1, 2, reset, bring those hands to the chin. 1, 2, reset. So left arm's going straight, right arm's crossing over. So left, right. Okay. So we're going to start that in 5 seconds. Nice and easy combo, but now adding a little more speed. And go left, right. Good. So adding a lot of power on that first one and then crossing over to the right. Good. Left, right. Halfway. Resetting between every 2. Good. Good, and rest. So we're going into round 5, so halfway. Now you should be adding a lot of speed. Hopefully starting to feel a little more like the heart rate's going up. Grab some water if you haven't. We got 10 seconds here. Maybe adding weight, dropping weight, so we can get through these next 5. Good, and power cross. 30 seconds, lots of speed. Good, resetting each time. Exhaling as you punch. 10 seconds. And rest. Good. Okay, round 6. So we're going to go jab, cross, left, right. So imagining like we have that punching bag, jab, cross, then we're coming into the left, then we're coming into the right. So left, right. And feel free to stick to jabs if that is enough for you. 5 seconds here. Good, and let's start. So left hook, right hook. Good. Left hook, right hook. Resetting after the 4th one. Good. Each punch should set you up for each one. So left, right is opening up to the left, is opening up to the right. So utilize that. Good. 3 seconds. And we're resting. Good. Okay, playing around with that. Hopefully that makes sense. We're going into round 7. So we're going to do that one again. Hopefully people are following with that. So left, right. And then resetting. Okay, starting in 5. 3, 2, 1, and left, right. Good. So really adding power on those hooks. Using that rotation to help you come back into that rotation. So we're opened up and then we're going. Using each punch to help us to the next. 10 seconds. Add some speed. Good. Good, and we're resting. Going into round 8. We'll do one more of these. We'll change it up again. 15 seconds. Finding some big breaths here. Good. 5 seconds. Okay, I have a lot of speed. See what that feels like. And go. Left, right, left, right. Making sure you get that full punch before you go into the next. Nice. Resetting every time after the 4th. 10 seconds. And we're resting. Okay. Round 9. We're going to do some speed bags. So speed bags, we are rotating around. If you want, you can add some height and go higher. The further you are away from the body, the more you're using your core. So find what feels good. We're going to do these last 2 with speed bags. Okay, and let's roll. So lots of speed here. Find what feels good. So you might start off slow, and then once you get that motion, you can add some speed, add some height. Good. 10 seconds. Relax those shoulders. Nice, and rest. All right, last one. Last one, and then we get a proper break. And we'll get into some kayaking. Okay. 15 seconds. So this time, speed bag, but we're reversing that direction. So playing around with that, getting our brains used to that. And let's go. Reverse direction. Final bit of speed. You got to break after this, so all out. Good. 15 seconds. Keep those shoulders relaxed. And rest. Nice. Okay, grab some water. Stretch it out a bit. We're going to take a minute rest here. If you have a dowel or some type of dowel that you're going to use, feel free to grab that now. And then we'll get into some kayaks. Okay, you have 30 seconds. I'm going to start talking about kayaks. So I'm using, like I said, a mop stick that's adjustable, which is helpful. But what we're going to do is get into some kayaking. So the motion is into the water. So let's say we're starting at the right. We're pulling, and this pulling back with the shoulder blade is what we're really working on here. Pulling and then going into the next side. If you want, and you have the ability to, you can add a bit of that rotation. So that we started with that rotation in warm-ups. So you can add a bit of that rotation. We will get into some maybe different types of paddling, like dragon boat paddling as we go. But for the first couple, just nice and light kayaks. And then as you feel comfortable, you can start adding some speed and thinking about what power might feel like. So same thing, 10 rounds, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds rest. If it feels good, add speed for that 30 seconds on, and then that rest, you can just slow it down and keep moving for this next 10 rounds. So let's get into it. Just starting nice and light for our first 30 seconds. Noticing our breath and our heart rate where it's at and seeing if we can get it back up if it's come down. Good. So first one should feel nice and light and easy. You're going to notice my changes, so I'm going to stay moving. But feel free to rest now, or you can go nice and light in the paddle to keep moving. So we do a bit of an active rest here. This is definitely less involved than the boxing, so you can get into some light movement. And then in 15 seconds, notice the speed changes that are going to happen here. Nice. So 5 seconds. We're going to go back into it. Good. 3, 2, and add some speed. There we go. So really thinking about dowel in the water, and then we're pulling back. Add that rotation if that feels good. So adding full body movement here. Nice. And then adding that speed once that feels good. 5 seconds. And nice and light. Good. So resting if you need. Okay, so we're going into round 3. We'll do 2 more of these and then I'll add a different movement here. We got 10 seconds. So starting to ramp up that speed. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and add that speed. Good. Add that, thinking about that force of that water. So pulling through. Nice. Halfway. Five seconds. And nice and light. I hope everyone's playing music and don't listen to that squeaky chair of mine. I'm very squeaky today. All right. So we have round 4. We're going to do this one more time. This time, if you were rotating, we're going to take away the rotation and really just think about speed. How do we get more speed? Okay, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. So staying nice and straight and paddle. At that speed. Nice. Halfway. And into active rest. All right, so going into round 5, we are going to start paddling. I'm going to go to the right, to the dominant side. So if you're following along with me and that feels good, do that. If you want to switch it up and go to the left, feel free to do that or stay with kayaking. But we're going to go to the right into a bit of a dragon boat style. So what we're going to do is the right hand is going to be down low, left is up high. We're pushing into the water and pulling. Okay, so we are doing one-sided paddle here, and we are starting. So just nice and light to get used to it. Good. So bottom, you're on the right side, bottom hand is the right, the left is on top. Good. So into the water and then rotate. Good. And we're resting. So going back to active rest, nice and slow. Just keeping moving here. Round 6, we're going to stay on this side and then we'll switch to the other side after. So if it's your non-dominant, we'll definitely get there. 5 seconds. Good. Okay, and we are back to one-sided paddling. Once you get that motion, you can add that speed. But make sure we have that motion. For some, this might be new. Yeah, 10 seconds. And switching to nice light paddling. Yeah. Okay, we are going into round 6. We're going to switch to the other side. Got 10 seconds here. So starting to get that motion in and then pull. And we're stopping at that hip and coming out. And let's start. Add a bit of rotation if you have that. Good, 15 seconds. Remembering to breathe. Good, and switching to active rest. Nicely done. Okay, we're gonna do that one again on that side. "15 seconds. And getting set up, getting ready, and go. Into the water and pull. 10 seconds. Nicely done. All the way through and nice and light. Okay, these last 2, feel free to choose a side. Stick to kayaking if that feels good. I'm gonna leave it open to whatever feels good to you. Just thinking about adding some speed and doing all out these last 2. Good, and go. 30 seconds. Whatever we're doing, staying in control. Nice, halfway. Good, and rest, nice and slow. Okay, last one. Whatever feels good. You're gonna get a minute rest after this. So finishing nice and strong. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and go. Good, halfway. Nice, and we're resting. All right. So grab some water. We can get rid of the dowel for now. You have a minute rest, so move around if you need. Okay, so we are going to move into a bit of some freestyle stuff. So I'm going to show you a couple different movements. We've kind of been doing them in the warm-up. But these next 10 rounds are kind of what you want to do. It gives you a little bit of creativity. So some people, when they have their music on, they will just dance for that 30 seconds, which is great. I will give you some suggestions, but if you want to do something else, feel free to do that. Just keep your heart rate movement and getting in some cardio in. So what I'm going to do for the first one is just some arm jumping jacks. For those who can, you can also add in some knee lifts or some steps. So you're doing some jumping jacks with the feet going out as you're doing the arms up. But get creative with it. We are starting nice and light for the first 30 seconds. I'm starting with the arms overhead because that's what gets my heart rate going most. These last 10 rounds, we really want to feel like we've had a workout. Get halfway. And if you like the kayaking boxing, feel free to go back to that. Otherwise, follow along with the rest of us. Good. And we are resting. If you want to continue with that active rest for a challenge, feel free to do that, whether that's kayaking or doing some other kind of movement. I'm going to rest so I can actually continue talking. Okay, next one we're going to do is the rainbows. So 2 ways you could do that is you have just the arms that are going from one hip up and over to the other, or you could use your dowel and go up and over just to have something to hold on to. So that's up to you, but we are starting. So bringing those arms up. Good. Five seconds. Good, and we're resting. Okay, next I'm going to do is up and out. So up and out could be with dowel going out in front and then up, or you could do it with your arms out and up. Okay, so 15 seconds. Good, and we are starting. So out in front and then up. Add some speed. Nice. Remembering that squeezing of those shoulder blades, so being intentional with that movement as we move the speed. 10 seconds. And rest. Nice work. Next one we're going to do is some reaching. So we did that in our warm-up where we are reaching to the right and reaching to the left. Notice I've added a bit of that rotation as well. So feel free to play around with that. So we got 10 seconds here. Adding in whatever feels good. Okay, and let's go. So reaching. Nice, and then see where you can add even a little more speed. Good. Halfway. Good, and rest. Nicely done. So we're moving into round 5. I'm going to throw in some more boxing with a little bit of a different combo. So what I'm going to do is left, right, left hook, right hook, uppercut, uppercut. So a little more involved, but still left, right, left, right, left, right. So we're moving in the forwards to the side to the downward up. Okay. And let's go left, right, up, up. Good. Resetting after those last 2 uppercuts. Good. 15 seconds. Five seconds. Finish strong. And we're resting. Nice. All right, that's 5. We're going to go into 5 more. So I'm going to go back to the top of what I've been doing. If you like something that you want to continue doing that felt good, I welcome you to do that. So we're going to go back into arm jumping jacks for me in 5 seconds. Okay, and we are starting. Nice work. Remembering to breathe. We have these last 5 rounds, so everything we have left in the tank. You got like 30 seconds rest, so we should be keeping up. Good. And rest. Nicely done. Okay, into rainbows. I'm adding the dowel this time. So left hip over to the right hip. "15 seconds. Checking in with your breath here. Okay, starting left hip over to right and go. And if you're following with me, the higher those arms, the better. And the harder. Here we go. In the pain together, 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Nicely done. Okay, forwards and up is what I'm doing next. We're going to start in 15 seconds. Okay, so checking in with our bodies. We're feeling a bit tired, maybe slowing it down a bit so that we can keep quality over quantity. And go. And if the speed feels good, stick with the speed. Good. Halfway. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're resting. Good. We are going to go, I'm going to go into reaches. So into that diagonal reach. Okay, 10 seconds. Heading into our next movement, nice and slow. Good, and add speed. Nice. Remembering to breathe, nice and controlled. If you can, let's find a little more speed. What does that feel like? Good, and rest. Okay, last one. Whatever you want to do, I'm going to add my speed bags into this last round. And then we'll get into some stretching. So speed bags is for me. Maybe pick your favorite one. Maybe speed bags is your favorite one. Okay, 3 seconds. And go. Nicely done. 15 more seconds. Okay, we're coming up to 30 seconds. We're gonna go into a surprise little hold. We're gonna bring those arms up and we're gonna hold here for 1 minute. So nice and relaxed in the shoulders. Staying nice and steady with this isometric hold. A little bit of a strength endurance type exercise. Noticing the breath. Nice work, we're halfway. Staying nice and strong. "20 seconds. "5 seconds. Last hold here and relax. Nice. All right. So let's get into a bit of a cool down. If you do have your kayak or your dowel, grab that. We're gonna go just nice and light for a minute here to cool down a bit. So just as important as the warm up, you really want to get into a cool down, especially if you got that heart rate up a bit. Yeah, so nice and light, and then we're gonna go into neck, shoulder, spine stretches. Good. So you might feel like you can add more speed again. We're trying to resist that as we cool down. Cool down's usually my favorite. That's kind of when the endorphins kick in. Good. Okay, and then we're gonna get rid of that and go into some stretching. We're gonna tuck the chin in, bring nose to right armpit. We're gonna relax the left side. So really trying to bring that nose down. Good, and then we're gonna switch to the other side. So tuck the chin in and then go down to the left, relax the right arm. Good, and then we're gonna go into the pecs. So if you have like a doorway or a post, you could do that. So I have a little bit of a post here, so I can open up that chest and go into the opposite direction. If you don't, you can bring an arm out in front, put some pressure into that pec muscle, so into the chest, and then you're gonna open up that chest. So finding something, finding a point of the pec, and then opening up the chest as you keep pressure on that muscle, opening everything up. Good. So for some, this might be super tender. Just kind of noticing. Another great one is to do this off the bed. So you're laying in bed and let an arm over the bed. Just finding some opening in that muscle. Nice. And then we're going to switch sides. So arm in the front and then opening up. Making sure you put some pressure in that pec. And I seem to add a little more pressure as I open up. Good. So resetting if you want, finding a new spot or sticking to that same spot. All of my pecs are always sore, so kind of all over. Good. One more. And we'll relax there. Okay, we're going to go into the triceps. So a couple different options here. You can bring left arm up over the head and use the right hand to pull the elbow towards the head. For some, it might just try to be touching your hands together. Choosing what one feels best. Okay. So whatever feels good. Okay, and then we're going to switch sides. Nice. Good. Then we're going to tuck that chin in. We're going to roll through the spine and go all the way either to your lap or to the ground. Once you get there, you're going to let your head dangle. Staying there to breathe. Take 2 breaths here. And you're going to slowly roll up. You're going to lift that chest. Arms are going to come either out to the side, or if you want to get into a bicep stretch, you're going to bring your arms behind and you can interlace your fingers or grab your wrists, pull down towards the ground, lift that chest. Okay, so really trying to shoot either the arms from behind or to the sides down to the ground. Nice. And then we're going to come back to center. We're going to rotate to the right, look over that right shoulder, and we're going to hold here. Lifting that chest again. And slowly switch to the left. And then we're going to come back to center. I welcome all of you to close your eyes if that feels good. And we're just going to take 5 breaths together. In through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Hopefully noticing that heart rate coming down. 2 more breaths on your own. All right. And that is all from me, everyone. Thank you all for joining today. Definitely come back in next week to join, and have a good rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you. I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I was grabbing my leg to pull it back up onto the foot plate a few days ago, I felt really, really strong pain here in my biceps. And now it's black and blue, even though I didn't hit anything.
Oh no.
Does that ring a bell? Any idea what's going on there?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's some kind of like muscle or tendon tear. I mean, they're gonna just tell you to rest. So
oh yeah.
Yeah, is it starting to fade?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yesterday I think was the worst.
Yeah, I think it's probably just a muscle strain.
Okay, it's interesting that it would get black and blue from the inside out.
Yes. Especially when there's no like impact, because that's what we normally think, right? Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of rest, which is kind of hard, but
No, yeah, I've been resting at icing at ibuprofen.
That's exactly what I would say.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'll see you guys next week.
See you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks.